Hello and welcome to my gaming experience. I'm Sword Rush, and this is Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super NES Classic. We are visiting this game because I wanted to pick out an anomaly of a game on the Super NES because there's a lot of good games on the Classic, and I think that over time I'll probably go through all of them, but I wanted to pick on this one particular, and I'm not trying to necessarily shoot fish in a barrel or shoot ghosts in a barrel, so to speak. But this one doesn't make sense. We look at the Super NES and we see games like Earthbound and we see games like Mario Kart, and we're just not. Those are all classics. Those aren't just classics, but they are. Some of them are considered, the best games of all time, kind of thing. Like Super Metroid helped create the genre of speedrunning, because of how interesting the environment was and how easy it was to create speedruns with it. But here we have this game that isn't real-time strategy. It's just a side scroller. I don't know what you want to call it. A platformer, I guess. That's probably the only real description for this game. It's a side-scrolling platformer. It has a lot more detail than something like Super Mario World, but its difficulty ranks above some of the hardest games ever. It has like a level of difficulty that reminds people of the old days of the NES and having to really try super hard to beat levels. But that's really it. There's not a lot else to this game other than that. There isn't there's a few prettier graphics, but the attacks are very limited. There's just an attack button. That's it. There's no dash. There's no running. It's just attack and jump and double jump. Those are really your only options for doing anything in this game. And I guess that's okay in some ways. But in other ways, it could have been a lot better, I think. Considering what the Super NES was capable of. Oh my gosh. And you only get 2 hits before you die. If you're lucky, you can find secret treasure boxes hidden throughout the game that will improve your armor, assuming you have armor. And maybe, like I said, again, if you're really lucky, you can get magical armor that comes with a shield that will protect you. Otherwise, it's 2 hits. Even the advanced armor, which may give you, I think there are some extra abilities, but oh gosh. It's just 2 hits. So the level of difficulty is definitely within the NES. What? Whoa, frame rate real dropped there badly. And kind of prevented me from being able to dodge getting any hits there. Sorry. And the story, there is no real storyline. Yeah, you're saving a princess from evil monsters. That's the premise. There's nothing else to it. So it's very, very generic in every way. It's just the difficulty level. That's the only thing that interests people. Oh, I can't even dodge under that. Ugh. And as you can see, I'm not all that great at games. But I can do some of the more difficult games, and this is one where I cannot get past even the second level. It would take me a very long time memorizing, pixel by pixel, specifically where to jump, assuming that random luck doesn't damage my ability to go forward. So I'm not exactly sure why this game made it onto the Classic, because there were plenty of other options available. There were Chrono Trigger, heck, there were NBA Jam, or I don't know, Lion King. Aladdin. There were other games that they could have put on this. This game, I looked it up, and this game is 48th or 49th of the best-selling Super NES games. So it was never really that popular. It was mainly the people who played the previous versions of this game in like the arcade or something. Those were the people who wanted to see this game happen. So I don't know how the nostalgic factor overrun or took precedence for this game when there were so many other games that would have just as much nostalgic factor, except so much more. This does not encapsulate what the SNES was capable of. Because, like I said, yeah, you have some decent graphics on here, but that doesn't make up for poor gameplay, and that's what we have, is really poor gameplay. So the other thing could be rarity. Okay, so if you want to keep something rare, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made it this far. If you want to keep something rare, then you can't let there be tons of copies of it, right? You have to keep, if they wanted to do something about the rarity of the games that were present on the system, then their best bet would have been to not let me die right there. They would have taken off Super Mario World. Super Metroid, Mario Kart, or Yoshi's Island or something. They would have taken some of those games off instead of putting all of these great games on there. So it wasn't like they were trying to protect the market by making this. In a sense, I'm used to Magic, where they might reprint some of the cards, but they're not going to reprint all of the best cards because that would destroy the market. So they obviously aren't concerned with that either. So why allow people to get this concept that this game somehow was what made the Super NES great? Because there's all these other games that made it great. And if there wasn't really a whole lot of fan service, because like I said, it's like the 50th best-selling Super NES game, so why do it? I don't know. I would really honestly like an answer, because I have no idea. I haven't ever actually enjoyed playing this game, because it's stuff like that. So if you saw there, even the jump mechanic is kind of jank, because as you try to jump, the game seems to see momentum in your movement. So when you make an effort to go do your jump, then you just keep traveling in that direction. So you can't really pull back at all, which kind of locks you into some really poor maneuvers that you may not want to be in. I don't know. Let me know. I'm really interested, because I want to understand this game somehow. I want to understand some part of this game, whether it be because I don't enjoy the difficulty. I like difficult games, but difficult games have to have something to make up for it. They have to have outstanding graphics. They have to have a story that makes sense, that you can identify with. They have to have subtlety and different mechanics. Super Mario World, for instance, we talked about mechanics. Super Mario World has Mario having fireballs and flying, and where is that sort of stuff in this game? It doesn't exist. It's it's difficult solely based on mechanics that are hard to use. So, I don't know. We'll cut it here. I'm not going to get much further than this, and I could play this for another half hour to an hour and still not get anywhere in this game. So we're going to go and quit, and thank you all for watching. If you have anything to say in the comments, let me know, and I will see you again next time.